Hey, what's going on, you guys? This your boy Town Biz. I thought that I would talk about this particular situation. Well, it appears that one of the cases involving Diddy and a case involving Jay Z, where basically a woman just was, ambulance chasing and just looking for a payday, just thought that Jay Z would just be like, F it and just settle. It was a civil suit. Keep in mind, I'm always weary of these civil suits. And for the last time, can we please stop saying believe all women because that is complete crap. And whoever came up with that terminology and that ideology is a moron. You can't believe somebody just because of their gender. See, it's funny how people want to play gender politics, and particularly women, when it's convenient for them. They want to holler about this, they want to holler about that. They're equal to this, they're equal to that. They can do this just as good as a man or better. But when it pertains to this, then they want to say, oh, well, because I'm a woman, I'm telling the truth. That doesn't make no sense whatsoever. The feminist movement is a load of crap for the most part. That's just real talk. So here it is. This woman basically wasted taxpayers' time, wasted the public's time. But then here's something, and I'm gonna get on a lot of you black content creators, and I'm gonna call y'all out on y'all inconsistency because I'm sick of y'all too. Everybody jumped aboard on this trash Jay-Z bandwagon or trash Diddy bandwagon, and you had some people that was the main catalyst. Okay, because it leads to abuse. Whenever a black person is in trouble or accused of doing something, especially when it's on the negative end, then everybody want to push their record buttons and put out content because negativity sells, and particularly with the demonization of black men. And once again, people like Kevin Spacey and Ezra Miller and quite a few other people uh, not only were accused, they actually did the things that they were accused of. But once again, nobody presses the record button and talks about them. So I have to call a lot of you black people out on this too, because y'all part of the problem. And that's just real talk. This is why I played this thing by ear. Now, I'm gonna say this about Jay-Z. I'm gonna make a solo video about Jay-Z that Jay-Z gonna have to make a decision about the people he keep around him, the company he keep around him. And that's just real talk. But this person who talking about that she got violated when she was like 13, all her I mean her story was very questionable to begin with, but she got caught in a lot of lies. Jay-Z and Diddy wasn't even in the same place. She named people who wasn't there, who proved it. Now my thing is, when is they gonna start holding these women accountable that make up these stories that basically slander these men's name and character assassinate these dudes? When are they going to be held accountable? When are they going to start passing laws holding women or just people that make up these type of stories, who file police reports and lie and just blatantly lie on people? When they going to be held accountable? And I'm going to say something else too. They need to start holding these lawyers accountable too, especially these ambulance chasing lawyers who know that these stories are basically lies, and they just think that a man or a woman, because women are put in these situations too, but primarily it's just men. But when they gonna start holding these lawyers accountable too, who take on these questionable cases, not because they're trying to help their clients, because basically they're trying to basically commit a shakedown and extort these dudes? When they gonna start threatening to disbar some of these crooked lawyers? Because they need to be held accountable too. And this is just real talk. So, like I said, a lot of people is looking real stupid right now. That was making video after video. Oh, guess what? Oh, and And this is what I'm talking about. And this is why I don't mess with that cornball 50 Cent. And I'm going to say this again. The way 50 Cent has handled this whole Rick Ross, Big Meech, Little Meech thing, 50 Cent is a bitch. And the reason why he going to continue to act like a bitch, because people basically give him a pass for acting like a bitch. 50 Cent on a regular basis shows his chick tendencies. And I was, talking to somebody about this, a 50 Cent nut hugger that was trying to defend 50 Cent actions. I don't want to hear nothing about 50. 50 is a lame. And that's just all it come down to. He a lame, he a coon. He only do this to black people. And that's just real talk. He only got smoke for black people. He loves to celebrate when something bad is happening to a black person. And that's just real talk. But nevertheless, I'm happy for Jay-Z. I'm happy for Diddy. And this is why, as black people, this is why as a media member, I have a responsibility to make sure I provide you guys with the most accurate information possible. Because I just don't want to go after somebody and just basically, just convict them in the court of public opinion. Because we've done that far too much. At the end of the day, some of us black people are starting to act like white people. The same white people that we complain about that stereotypes us and puts us in one box. But we starting to do the same thing that we accused them of doing. But at the end of the day, it wasn't fashionable to say, let's wait till the facts come out. You had everybody, and the worst part about it, you had a lot of gossip girl men going, ooh, 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 with Jay-Z and Diddy. And this is why I stayed away from this. And I was listening to 7-8's video, and shout out to 7-8. He right on. I'm starting to think that some of you men on here have premenstrual cycles. Because like I said, y'all carry y'all self like chicks. And that's what I think happens with Curtis Jackson. I think Curtis Jackson has a monthly premenstrual cycle. I'm starting to wonder, do 50 wear tampons? Yeah, I said it. I told y'all to be careful with this, and I told y'all to play this by ear. Yeah, I don't see no media outlets writing retraction or doing retraction stories, or at least saying, hey, we got it wrong. But see, at the end of the day, a lot of people were praying and hoping that Jay-Z was guilty of this. See, here's the thing. I don't want, in my heart of hearts, I really don't want to hear about a black woman or a black man being accused of doing something unthinkable, because I really want our people to succeed. Where you have some people that want them to be guilty so they can have something to talk about, so they can continue to put out negative commentary and put out negative content. The Tasha K's of the world, and other people, to a certain degree. The shade room, they right. I ain't gonna say the shade room, because actually the shade room, they put out decent stuff. I'm not gonna sit up there and say they are fixated on negativity. But I'm gonna tell y'all something. It's funny how we complain about the DJ Blads and the Adam 22s of the world, even though I don't care for those two culture vulture clowns and even academics. But then again, we have black content creators that I can make an argument that is just as bad as them. So at the same time, the same way I'm gonna call those guys out, I'm gonna call some of these other people out. I don't have to say their names. You know who these people are. Like I said, it's called doing responsible journalism. And once again, it's 7-8 in the building. And me and 7-8 talked about this. And me and him and a couple of other people, we agreed behind the scenes that we going to play this by ear. We're not going to sit up here and push the record button and slander our black people. At the end of the day, you heard me. I was adamant about this. I said, wait till the facts come out. Wait till we hear and get more information. Just like everybody has something to say about this Bill Cosby stuff. And then even the people in Pennsylvania were saying that Bill Cosby shouldn't have went to prison. See, here's the thing. I'm not a T Grizzly. I don't prey on people's downfall. Now, if something happens, then, I got to do what I got to do. Listen, I've been making fun of Drake because of this Kendrick Lamar thing. But at the end of the day, I don't want nothing bad to happen to Drake. That's it. That's all. But I'm just poking fun. I don't want nothing bad to happen to Drake, and I don't want no violence to jump off between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. And the sad part about this whole situation, you even got celebrities doing the pile on. Like I say, things is different now. Like I said, you even got so-called street dudes like doing Gossip Girl, news. You got dudes talking about they from the streets, talking about they gangsters and all this kind of stuff. You got these slow talking dudes that talk like they reading the script and all this stuff. You got people recording phone calls and putting them on the internet and stuff. So, like I said, this stuff is crazy. All for a quick buck and all for immediate popularity. But at the end of the day, they ain't no different from these. I'm gonna be honest with you. I gotta keep it a buck. Some of these people on here ain't no different from Fox News. Once again, we complained. We called these media outlets out on basically them slandering, and demonizing black men and black women. But at the same time, some of these people is doing exactly what they accuse Fox News of doing. I mean, the hypocrisy is real. So as far as this situation with Diddy go, in the words of let me hold on, let me get it together. The words of the best fighting, the best boxing, the bitch lied. And that's all it can come down to. She lied. She was just looking for a quick payday. She thought that Jay-Z was just going to buckle and settle. But, Jay-Z fought for his reputation, and as he should. Jay-Z, first of all, Jay-Z is worth $2 billion. Actually close to 3. Jay-Z and Beyonce have a combined net worth of $3 billion. That's a lot of money. And like I said before, this woman, this so-called Jane Doe, why should her name be protected? And I don't want to hear this stuff. Well, if we put her name out, this hurts women. That's really, not exactly. This is why I say everything should be a case-by-case basis. Everything shouldn't always be random and trivial, and common. Everything needs to be a case-by-case basis. None of this believe all women and all that kind of stuff, because to a certain degree, it is a case-by-case basis. Everything is different. Every scenario is different. You can't group everything together because you don't know. It's too much who, what, where, why, and how. You have to put all that into the equation. And that's the problem. We are irresponsibly just labeling people. So this has to stop. Man, I've been saying this about Gene Squill. Gene Deal is an ambulance chaser. At the end of the day, I keep saying, if he had all this rock solid proof that Diddy was doing this stuff, why didn't he turn him in years ago? Why you wait 20 something plus years? And then people really be believing these dudes. Yeah. If you can articulate yourself very well when you telling the story, and if you can convince yourself that you sound like you telling the truth, people are buying into it. It's easy to fool people via the internet. That's why these dudes are called influences. Keep in mind, what did George Costanza say on Steinfeld? He came with one of the greatest quotes that I ever heard. He said, "It's not a lie if you really believe it." So if you keep telling yourself that you telling the truth, eventually you will manifest it and make people and yourself think that you're telling the truth. Remember that. Like I said, that's one of the greatest quotes I ever heard on TV. He said, "It's not a lie if you really believe it." And I think a lot of people really believe their lies. And a lot of these people talk very irresponsibly. So one thing about me, I try to get all my ducks in order, dot all my I's, cross all my T's to make sure that I'm accurate as hell. One thing you can't say about me that I don't do proper research. And one thing about me, I always say if I don't have all the information, put it in the comment section because I want to get it right. And I always say allegedly, and I always say that I'm doing more research. So as a journalist, a media member, we have that responsibility to the public. Don't just push record button and just start saying stuff. So now, like I said, a lot of people out here looking stupid. And I'm not saying no names. I'm not sneak dissing nobody, but I'm just keeping it a buck. Well, first of all, her story sounded absurd. Her story sounded absurd. She came from Rochester, got drove 5 hours. She stood outside, didn't have a ticket. Then she basically did what Bobby Womack said, if you in the classic, if you think you're lonely now, girl, I can't be in two places at one time. So basically she had, I mean, just come on, it just sounded ridiculous. The story just sounded absurd. So, like I said, a lot of people on here looking stupid. I wonder how many people is gonna put out content in video saying that the case has been thrown out. But anyway, you guys, I got to get ready. I got to get out of here. I got to get ready to head to the airport. I'm gonna go get me a bite to eat. But I just wanted to shed some light on this situation. I wanted to get my take on this situation, and I'm gonna leave you with this. Once again, people have a duty and an obligation to make sure that they do proper research. And people need to stop like gloating and celebrating and, cheerleading something happening to a black man or a black person. Because, like I said, at the end of the day, we ain't no better than them people. And like I said, I've seen that the internet has started to turn a lot of people into the very people that we have, fought against to protect our imagery and our legacy. So some of y'all is falling for the trap. I don't know nothing about no blue pill, red pill shit, but I'm just telling it the way I see it. Got to be careful. Anyway, it's your boy Town. I'm out.